final review of the evening. And it's another golf game, sort of.
Quasi
But
golf.
yeah, it's super inefficient golf. And the reason
Golf
why
to a
it's called
general
that,
enough definition of golf that it allows using very different things than clubs.
yeah, it's like, yeah, so this is not actually a golf game because you don't use golf clubs to hit the ball. You use explosive mines. Like now, as far as how super inefficient this is, honestly, I found that depended on the hole because there were some holes where I got where I got like a hole in one really easily, and there were others where I did have to spend like 30, 45 minutes even getting uh, into the hole. Like
Are the mines manually detonated, timed, or a combination?
manually detonated, and you get four. Um, okay, uh, X. This might be a problem for those who don't have an Xbox controller, but the mines are coordinated to the Xbox face buttons. That is to say,
I'd probably assume they'd be the same on PS4.
So you
well,
have an X bomb, an A bomb, a Y bomb, and a B bomb.
no, you have a yellow, red, green, and blue mines,
Ah,
and those are coordinated to the color of the Xbox buttons.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm like I don't know how it works with other controllers because I use an Xbox One
They
controller.
what they usually happens when I play games on my PS4 controllers, they basically ape the 360 Xbox One layout. So
Right.
like where the X button would be, it would do the same thing as a square button,
Yeah. I
and
mean,
vice
right.
versa.
But the trick is recognizing that by colors. Like I believe in PlayStation, the pink button, which is closest to red, is on the top,
Yeah,
whereas on an Xbox button, the yellow one is on the top.
yeah. So that's important to keep in mind. And so how a hit go so how a hit goes is you place your mines up to four per color. So you can have at maximum 16 mines on a single golf ball in a single hit. Like,
That is a lot.
yeah.
Also, I was wrong. The green button is on the top in PlayStation controller. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah. And your turn lasts for as long as the ball is in motion. That is to say, if you detonate the yellow bombs, um, and it keeps rolling, and it's about to stop, and you hit your red bombs, then it goes further, or maybe backwards, because it all depends on where you put your mines. Like, and it can be hard to be strategic in this game because you know maybe you thought um, your green mines were going to be on the right side of the ball, but they're on the left one. So you literally go
Because
in the
balls roll. It's a thing that happens.
yeah. So yeah, there's theoretically a lot of thought process that goes here, but that's not this kind of game. Like at least in my estimation, because well, it's very wacky. Not completely wacky. Like it still has the aesthetics of real golf rather than mini golf. Like you're not going to be seeing any windmills. You will see fans because there are environmental hazards like wind that will hamper you.
I'm a little disappointed there are no windmills. Although I suppose with bombs you could just blow it up over the windmill.
Yeah, like I said, it's a very abstract and wacky version of real golf aesthetics. So you got greens and whatnot. It's just sometimes they're on impossibly tall pillars, for example.
So stick a bunch of bombs on the bottom of your thing.
That that does help, you know, or to get up from a ramp. You have to make sure you have enough force to get up the ramp, because if you don't,
Right.
you're just gonna roll 3/4 of the way and then go back down
Now, do all the bombs of the same color blow up at once, or do you have to push the button 4 times?
at once.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you got bombs on the in different places, they will all go off. Yeah.
So you basically have 4 inputs per
Right. You have
shot.
Yes. Right. And this is and scoring is done like real golf as well. Birdies, eagles, hole in one, bogeys, all there. And your goal is still to, get the ball in as little movement as possible. It's just the way you're doing that is really, really different than every other golf game out there. I will give it this. This is probably the most unique game of golf you'll ever play. Right?
Golf with high explosives.
Yeah. And as I've been mentioning on the shows this week, this is about as far away from last week's game, the Golf Club 2019, as you can get and still be golf. Like, even Mario Golf had putters and shit.
Like, do the various colors have different strength, or is it just timing?
I think they do, but I wasn't sure. Like, I was never sure of
the
that.
point seems to mostly be that you can blow up a certain color at a certain time, so that you can use
Right.
one color to get it up in the air and then another color to move it forward, or
Or bank
blow it
shot.
up left to get around a thing and then blow it up right once you're on the other side.
Right. As far as content goes, so this actually got a content update, because I believe beforehand it was just 18 holes, but now it's 36, if I'm multiplying correctly. They just added a second world. And that's really good for the what you're getting here, because the game is only $5.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And for that price, it seems like, it's a fun thing to mess around with for a little bit, but you won't be disappointed by not having more content.
Yeah. Also, the gimmick will probably get old after a while. It's like, I enjoyed it for a few hours, but I could feel the novelty wearing off. Especially when you're dealing with some of the more frustrating holes. Like, the music is there. It's just one track that plays, or at least it seemed to be. Like, I don't know, I turned it off pretty quickly. Is that kind of music? Right. Now, I'm trying to remember the platforms. So this game is on Steam, but you can also get it on your Nintendo Switch. And I really don't have a recommended platform here, because honestly, this game would work out about as well on the Switch as the Steam platform.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since, you do have to play a full round of hole here. Like, you can't, like, take a stroke, so to and explode, and, suspend the game. At least as far as I understand. Also worth noting, I've got the fact sheet prices here. This is one of those games that doesn't understand exchange rates.
So it's like €5 and £5 as well as
Exactly.
$5.
Yeah, exactly that. Okay. Note to developers and publishers who do this: 1 to 1.
Euros and pounds are worth more than US dollars usually.
Yeah, it's like when you do this 1-to-1 conversion, you are charging more money for Euro and British people. Okay?
They do not like this. They get angry
No.
with this.
Yep.
No, I understand in this case it's not that big of a deal, but it's still a, you know, conversion calculators exist out there.
Well, and also some of them will just straight up ignore your game if you do that shit.
Yeah. I'm like, it's especially odd considering this comes from an Italian publisher.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so, I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, it's probably not going to replace any of your favorite golf games, like either arcade or realistic. Like, I wouldn't recommend this over, say, Mario Golf or Golf's that Golf RPG on the Switch, Golf Story. Like, but it's as a $5 novelty, sure, it's worth that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, right. So that'll about do it for this installment of the Fragments of Silicon reviews. The week ahead, like, so once again, hang on, don't have my main notes up here. Thought I.
Will
Stupid
you
system
do
makes it.
that for Final Fantasy 14 stuff? We should actually be starting Savage Tuesday, unless people can't make it. So look out for that, and then hopefully I stalled enough for Adam to have his programming notes. Woohoo!
Like, it's still loading. Like, stupid system updates.
Don't you just love that?
Like, I had it open, but then we have an important update. Anyway, I want to make sure. So let's see. On Tuesday, September 25th, we will be having Evenge Kapsutin. It's Russian, so did my best shot there. Of Aloar Entertainment. That's happening at 10 a.m. special time because, once again, Russia.
Alarm has been changed.
That's good. We're going to be talking about the Beholder series, among other games. Aloar is a very, very accomplished publisher with a lot of, like, they've got a shit ton of games. A lot of them are casual portal games, like, Big Fish, among others. Granted, okay, I know it's not 10 years ago, but this is the kind of thing that was popular about 10 years ago. But they've also got what they call mid-core titles, like the Beholder series, or Do Not Feed the Monkeys, I Am Not a Monster. These are real titles, by the way.
Good for them.
Anyway, so that's happening on Tuesday. On Wednesday, September 26th, we have actually a programming change announcement here. Due to various factors, we will be having James Deighgan, Deighgan, Deighan. Deighgan?
Gulix?
Could just be Dean.
Yeah, I'm like,
We'll find out before we go live Wednesday.
yeah, it's like,
Apologies if we butchered your name.
it's like, it's hard when you haven't heard the names, and can be interpreted multiple ways as
and
well.
And because it's English, the GH can be silent because sure, why not?
Yeah. Of Mad Cat Studios. So the primary reason we're going with this instead of our friend from Way Forward is because they have a Kickstarter, an active Kickstarter going on at this very moment. So it was imperative that we get them in as quickly as possible. And as it so happened, next week kind of worked out because, well, I suppose in the name of frankness, James had not been answering my Skype notifications, and we had like that. The second part of that interview got delayed anyway, so if it's happening, it's going to be happening in late October. It all depends on if James gets back to me. Anyway, the Kickstarter in question is for a game called Logjammers, like, which is a lumberjack take on Windjammers. Granted, okay, Windjammers is not nearly as obscure as it was just a little while ago, since it got a re-release on, say, the PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. Like, and it's inexplicably getting a sequel. But instead of like throwing around discus, you're throwing around axes, from what I can understand here. Like, anyway, yeah, it's arcade sports with pointy weapons and flannel. And we'll have more on that on Wednesday. So until then, until Tuesday, I shall wish you good gaming.